This is the second kind of synthesis question type, and I call it word change. Basically, you'll be given a form of a word and you are often, not always, often asked to change it to the noun form. And what are different ways to change to the noun form? Using suffixes. Now, what is that basically? Well, it's adding certain letters to the back. For example, you are quite familiar with TION, I think. So for example, I am extremely irritated. Well, you are filled with irritated? No, you are filled with irritation. So where are you located? It's another way of saying it is, what is your location? So these are examples, okay, will be TION, MENT, NCEs, for example, disappear, disappearance, arrogant, arrogance. The TYs, for example, honest, honesty, okay, able, ability. NESS, selfishness, forgetfulness, happiness, friendliness, sadness, okay, and others, for example, angry, anger. Surprise is surprised again. Horrified, horror. Use, usage. So these are ways to convert words to the noun form. Another thing you might be required to do is to use gerunds. What do I mean? So for example here, no one is allowed to smoke here, right? This is basically an action, isn't it? It's a verb, yeah? So no one is allowed to smoke here. If you need to use the noun form, what would it be like? You will change it to the gerund. Again, a gerund is the ing form used as a noun. So something is not allowed here. What is it? Smoking. Next, it is more efficient to cycle than walk. Again, these two are verbs, but we are going to convert them to gerunds and use them like nouns. So something is more efficient than the other thing. And what is it? The gerund form of cycle is cycling. Cycling is more efficient than walking. So gerunds, ing, used as a noun. The others will be just adding suffixes to the back. Exercise 1. Bala was very disappointed. He lost to Ali in tennis. So who is feeling disappointed? To whom does the disappointment belong? It's Bala, isn't it? So much to his disappointment, Bala lost to Ali in tennis. Now, the other way to do this is, a possible answer is much to Bala's disappointment. Then here we would write he. He lost to Ali in tennis. These are both possible answers. Just to take note, disappointed has become the noun form disappointment. Valerie passed her driving test. She was amazed. So much to Valerie's amazement, the noun form amazed became, right? Amazed became the noun form amazement. She passed her driving test. Janet was embarrassed that she had worn her bedroom slippers to school. Oh, that's pretty careless of her. So much to Janet's embarrassment, she had worn her bedroom slippers to school. Embarrassed, converted to the noun form, embarrassment. Mrs. Ong was very annoyed. Well, who's the one who's annoyed? It's Mrs. Ong, isn't it? So much to Mrs. Ong's annoyance. So annoyed turns to annoyance. Her son had broken another antique vase. So not the first time he's done it. And these things, I assume, are quite expensive. So annoyed, the noun form is annoyance. They were surprised that Tom came in last in the archery competition. So who's the one who's surprised? They, right? So much to their surprise, comma, Tom came in last in the archery competition. So probably Tom was pretty good at archery and they expected him to not be the last. But he was. So anyway, surprised, the noun form is surprise. Exercise 2. Andy was disappointed that he was not selected to perform in the play. Disappointed. So the noun form is much to his disappointment. Andy was not selected to perform in the play. The children were delighted that they were granted permission to attend the concert. So who are the ones who are delighted? That's the children. So much to the children's delight. Don't forget the apostrophe S. And the noun form of delighted is delight. They were granted permission to attend the concert. We were very surprised that our school team eventually won the tennis championship. So much to our surprise. So make sure that surprised turns to the noun form, surprised. A lot of students seem to miss out the letter R over here. So that's it. Make sure your spelling is correct. Sulaiman was embarrassed when he dropped the plate in front of everyone. So much to Sulaiman's embarrassment. He dropped the plate in front of everyone. What is the noun form of excited? So much to our excitement, our paper aeroplanes flew very high. Exercise 3. I was very relieved that I was able to retrieve the important data from the computer. So relieved. Now, does it not look like the word believed, right? So anyway, what's the noun form of relieved? So much to my relief with an F. Same thing for believe. Right, the noun form is belief with an F. I was able to retrieve the important data from the computer. Bob did not complete his homework. Miss Nora was displeased. Okay, so who's feeling displeased here? Miss Nora, right? So much to Miss Nora's displeasure, Bob did not complete his homework. Here, the noun form of annoyed is annoyance. So much to his annoyance, he could not find the solution to the question. Siti was amazed that Ramli was able to spell all the difficult words. So much to Siti's amazement, Ramli was able to spell all the difficult words. Right, sorry for the funny arrangement of the word here, but basically the timid girl was incredulous that she had climbed up the rock face after her instructor's encouragement. So she was quite frightened, but she could not believe it. That's what incredulous means, to be unable to believe something had happened. Yeah. So incredulous that she had climbed up. So what is the noun form of incredulous? The noun form is incredulity with the ty at the back. So much to her incredulity, the timid girl had climbed up the rock. Well, what's missing here? Up the rock face, isn't it? So let's change that. The rock face. After the instructor's encouragement. Exercise 4. So for question 1, we are going to change annoyed to annoyance. Much to my annoyance, the much anticipated concert was cancelled. By the way, what's the noun form of cancelled? It's cancellation. L-A-T-I-O-N. Question 2. To our amazement, comma, the elderly man completed the marathon. So amazed, amazement. Here we know disappointed will be converted to disappointment. Yeah. So Ravi lost to a newcomer in the tennis match, much to his disappointment. The fresh thing here is much to his disappointment is now at the back rather than at the beginning. Okay, so displeased. So much to Siti's displeasure, she could not solve the word problem. She was upset. Question 5. My cousin was surprised. So much to my cousin's surprise, she passed the driving test at her first attempt. Exercise 5. So surprised here is going to be converted to the noun form. Much to our surprise, Susan turned up for the badminton tournament. Next, relieved is in the verb form. Now to the noun form, it is relief with an F. Much to our relief, nobody was hurt. Next, we have surprised again. So much to Nancy's surprise, she was selected. Next, embarrassed, the noun form is embarrassment. So much to my embarrassment, I spilled orange juice all over my aunt's expensive carpet. Oh no. Next, horrified, the noun form is horror. Much to my horror, I discovered that burglars had broken into my house when I was not at home. Exercise 6, level 2. Question 1. The pupils were horrified to see their room in a mess after recess. So, horrified, we change it to horror. But the horror is experienced by many pupils. So, the tricky thing here is make sure you write S apostrophe, not apostrophe S. Apostrophe S is for one pupil. For many pupils, we write S apostrophe. Here, contented, the noun form is contentment, and don't forget there are multiple employees here, so make sure you write S apostrophe. much to the employee's contentment. Again, we've got many pupils, so horrified becomes horror, much to the pupil's horror. Now, in this case, could not believe, right? So what does that mean? She did not believe it. So is there a word for that? Yes, the noun form is much to Sita's disbelief. Here we've got agitated and annoyed. So in the noun form, much to Steve's agitation and annoyance. He was late for an important meeting. Exercise 7. So disappointed, here we are going to say disappointment. Much to Roy's disappointment, the tickets for the concert were sold out. Again, we have disappointed, so much to Bobby's disappointment, comma, he did not pass his driving test. Annoyed, the noun form is annoyance. So much to her annoyance, Sally's sister kept criticizing the artwork that she had painstakingly drawn. Delighted, the noun form is delight. So City was chosen as a finalist in the singing contest. So resemble means to look like. So what's the noun form of resemble? So Sarah bears a closer resemblance to her mother than her father. In other words, she looks more like her mother than her father. Well, this is part B for word change where you have phrases like and words like due to, because, owing to, and you still have to convert to words to the noun form. So let's take a look. Exercise 1. So Aliyah is a humble girl. She is well liked by her friends, her peers, and teachers. So Aliyah is well liked by her peers and teachers because of her humility. So humble becomes humility. The boy was brave, thus, therefore, the bully backed off. So due to the boy's bravery, the noun form here is bravery, the bully backed off. He's diligent, he's extremely hardworking, so he will do extremely well. So due to his, owing to his, now they mean the same thing by the way, owing to, because of, due to his hardworking, him being hardworking, his diligence. Mei Ling was arrogant. She refused to accept Penny's help. Well, because of her arrogance, isn't it? So Mei Ling refused to accept Penny's help because of her arrogance. Question 5 is a little bit tricky. So Tom's attendance was so irregular. So he didn't come very often, not regularly. So the coach decided not to select him for the team. So due to, owing to Tom's irregular attendance. Yeah, so it's still the same in terms of the noun form, right? Like this, just that you combine the meaning of irregular, right? Like this. Okay, so Tom's irregular attendance, not to select him for the team. Exercise 2. The earthquake was powerful. So as a result of the powerful earthquake, almost all the buildings in the city were damaged. Sandra was nominated to be the class chairperson. She was capable and responsible. So on account of, as in considering her capability and responsibility, Sandra was nominated to be the class chairperson. So noun form of capable is capability, responsible, responsibility. Sam is flexible, thus he is an outstanding gymnast. Okay, so because of Sam's flexibility. What is the noun form of forgetful? So Siti was forgetful. So as a result of her forgetfulness, comma, Siti left the birdcage open and the bird flew off. Peter is friendly and helpful. His friends sing praises of him. So they say very nice things about him. So because of his friendliness and helpfulness. Okay, take note of the Li, not the Ly. Yeah. Exercise 3. Siti was popular. Now, what's the noun form of popular? So Siti won the head prefect election because of her popularity. Aziz was committed to studying hard. So due to his commitment to studying hard, Aziz did very well in his recent examination. So committed, commitment. Ooh, we have the word popular again. Due to his popularity, our class monitor received a lot of votes. What's the noun form of careless? So due to John's carelessness, comma, he broke the cup. On account of, again, means considering his capability. So he had a good amount of skill. Okay, he was good at doing things, getting things done. So he was nominated to be a class monitor. Exercise 4. The teacher explained the concepts clearly. The pupils understood the concepts. Now, this is a 2-star question, level 2. So because of the teacher's clear explanation. Tim was determined to do well. So the noun form to be used here is as a result of Tim's determination to do well for his mathematics test, he passed with flying colors. What's the noun form of honest? So Devi was given an award due to her honesty. Question 4. She was diligent. She finally achieved her objective. So due to her diligence, comma, she finally achieved her goals, her objectives. My family was devastated. So because of the disappearance, right? Disappearance of our beloved cat. Exercise 5. What is the noun form of exhausted? So due to Tom's exhaustion, he will not attend the party. The noun form of lazy as a result of his laziness, not with the Y, but with an I. What's the noun form of beautiful? So City Sunflower won first prize in a competition because of its beauty. The athlete persevered. So due to the athlete's perseverance, he finished the men's 400-meter race. The weather was bad. So because of the bad weather, the flights were delayed. Exercise 6. Samad was negligent, so he didn't pay enough attention to doing his job properly. As a result, the valuable jewelry was stolen. So was he the security guard at the place? I don't know, probably. So owing to Samad's negligence, the noun form of negligent, okay, the valuable jewelry was stolen. Joe clinched the top position, so he won the top position in his school exam because he had persevered. So owing to Joe's perseverance, the weather was so hot that the flowers withered. Okay, so the flowers withered owing to the weather was so hot? No, owing to the hot weather. What is the noun form of neglect? So Shireen's dog went hungry, she had neglected it. So owing to her neglect, Shireen's dog went hungry. Well, persevered, the noun form is perseverance. Okay, the mountaineering team scaled the summit despite the challenging conditions. Exercise 7. What is the noun form of guilty? So due to his guilt, Ali decided to own up for breaking the vase. The car sped furiously across the highway, causing the puppy to die as a result of the car speeding. Oh, this is where we use the gerund, isn't it? So this is the noun form, okay, using a gerund. Actually, do you notice something funny about this sentence? The car can go at 200 kph, no problem, as long as it doesn't hit the puppy. Why would the puppy die? Because the car was moving very quickly. What's not mentioned here is that the car probably hit the puppy. Yeah, so things can travel at high speeds anytime. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't cause you to die. It will if it hits you, but it's not mentioned here that the car hit the puppy. Question 3. That Sam was very dishonest. He was fired from his job. So as a result of his honesty? No, as a result of his dishonesty. Number 4. Bala was committed to studying hard. So due to his commitment to studying hard, Bala did very well in his examination. John persevered and finally completed the task. So John finally completed the task as a result of his perseverance. Exercise 8. She acted graciously. The principal commended her, so praised her, said nice things about her. The principal commended her as a result of her graciousness. Proud. What's the noun form of proud? Mary has few friends. Well, this should be a level 2 actually, right? Not many friends. Mary has few friends because of her proudness, because of her pride. He was anxious, okay? So due to his anxiousness, now another word that you can use is anxiety. So due to his anxiety, comma, he started during the presentation. I bought the bottle of body lotion from the sales girl. She was persistent, so she kept asking and pestering, and finally this person gave in and succumbed. So anyway, I bought the bottle of body lotion from the sales girl because of her persistence, with a CE at the back. Oh my goodness, what is that ugly typo over there? So because of, right? So the athletes were eager to win the race. They trained very hard. So the athletes trained very hard because of their eagerness to win the race. Exercise 9. The noun form of proud is Mr. Lim will not accept anyone's assistance because of his pride. The noun form of anxious can be anxiousness or anxiety. So as a result of anxiety, okay, you can also say as a result of his anxiety, Steve did not play well in the match. Mary was determined as a result of her determination, or you can also write of Mary's determination, she successfully climbed Mount Everest. Curious, the noun form is curiosity. So as a result of Jane's curiosity, she got into trouble, spying on her neighbors with her binoculars. The driver was reckless, so he was driving dangerously. He crashed into a lamppost, so as a result of his recklessness. Now this is part C, basically it's a mixture of other words, that's why I titled it others, so it's just a general mixture. Exercise 1. Mobile phones are prohibited in this building. They are not allowed. So the use of mobile phones is prohibited in this building. The thief crept into the house stealthily so that he would not be detected. So the thief crept into the house stealthily to avoid detection or to avoid being detected. So the noun form of detected is detection. This is where we use gerunds. Okay, so swimming in the early morning is his favorite leisure activity. So swim becomes a gerund, swimming, ing. Now to be naive is to have an innocent kind of ignorance, not knowing things in a very innocent way that can get you in trouble. So it is naive of Carrie to believe everything she reads in the newspapers, with an S there. Another question that requires gerunds. So mop and dust the classroom regularly. So with regular mopping and dusting, the classroom will be clean. Exercise 2. Fang reluctantly gave her old toys away. It was with reluctance that Fan gave her old toys away. So we've got diligent and sincere. So the noun forms are diligence and sincerity. Backed him the top award. So it won him the top award because he was hardworking and sincere. Next, it was foolish. Okay, so what a fool Peter was. It was foolish of Peter to think that no one would find out that he had stolen John's watch. Trolleys and baskets are collected. So the collection of trolleys and baskets is done by Uncle Ali and Uncle Chan. So the collection is basically singular, therefore we have is, not that trolleys and baskets are plural. Okay, so the collection is singular. Right, question 5. You are not allowed to eat and drink on the train. So gerunds again, so eating and drinking are not allowed on the train. Right. Now notice that eating is singular as a gerund, eating is singular, but we have two gerunds over here, eating and drinking. So now it's plural, yeah? Are not allowed on the train. Exercise 3. Andy's parents have given their approval. So the noun form of approved is approval of his decision to join Singapore Idol. Amy was careless. She lost many marks in the examination. So Amy's carelessness caused her to lose many marks in the examination. Ahmad was very unwilling to meet his coach, but he went to him. So it was with great unwillingness that Ahmad went to meet his coach. Debbie ruined Linda's painting. So envious, what is the noun form of envious? It is envy. So out of envy, Debbie ruined Linda's drawings. She was generous. So noun form of generous, owing to her generosity, many children in the orphanage benefited. Exercise 4. First question, a level 2. The guests arrived early. My family was not prepared. So my family was not prepared for the early arrival of the guests. Mr. Gupta compared his profits. He made more this year than he did last year. So in comparison to his profits last year, in comparison with his profits last year, Mr. Gupta made more this year. Tough one. What is the noun form of compassionate? So out of compassion, Mother Teresa helped the poor to survive. Out of dislike, Betty avoided Tom whenever she could. So the noun form of dislike is dislike. Desperate, the noun form being in desperation, the fugitive jumped into the murky swamp. A fugitive is a criminal that is trying to escape arrest. And he's trying to do that by jumping into the murky swamp, hoping that the authorities won't look for him there. Exercise 5. The noun form of agreed is agreement. So my sister attended the workshop with my father's agreement. Sincere, the noun form is sincerity. So Tom's sincerity was questioned by James. So notice that here we're using the past tense, and sincerity as a noun is singular, therefore was singular. Siti learned that her cousin would be getting married, so we are using the past tense. It was with great excitement that Siti learned, that her cousin would be getting married. Upon seeing, now what's the noun form of seeing? At the sight of the bully tearing her picture. Dismissed early, how do you change that to? With the early dismissal of the students, the canteen vendors panicked as the food was not ready. Exercise 6. The noun form of suspicious is suspicion. Her suspicion of James makes her keep a distance from him. Question 2. My cousin was worried about his poor results. So my cousin found his poor results worrying. So here it's nothing to do with finding something that you lost. Yeah, it just means to feel something. Right? I feel very worried. I found it worrying. Everyone was surprised, so Anna's acceptance of Richard's help surprised everyone. So I think this deserves a level 2. Surprised everyone, and Anna's acceptance. So accepted, the noun form is acceptance. So maybe she's normally a very prideful person that doesn't accept help from others. Maybe, or she hates Richard, so she would accept help but just not from Richard. Okay, the noun form of consider is without any consideration for her feelings. Now, the preposition to use here, is important. So, without any consideration at, that's wrong. Consideration for her feelings. John shouted at Mary. Eliza was creative and confident. So, Eliza's creativity and confidence were. Now take note, was is in the past tense, were should also be in the past tense. Next, creativity and confidence, these are 2 nouns, so it's plural, were. Exercise 7. So every question here is of level 2 difficulty, so let's take a look. Due to her immense strength. The waiter was rewarded, responded politely. So due to the waiter's polite response to the complaints of the customer, he was rewarded. Now, improved considerably. So my sister made a considerable improvement in her mathematics and science last year. Applied to study in that university. So Melissa's application to study in that university was rejected. Oh no. Kevin stared at the mess in dismay. believe. He could not believe it, in disbelief. Exercise 8. Again, all of these are level 2, so you cannot compare the two experiments. So there is no comparison between the two experiments because the variables are different. Mrs. Tan assumed that every student wanted the author's autograph. So maybe not all students cared about the author's autograph. So made an assumption. So noun form of assume is assumption. Samad knew that his classmates would not help him. So with the knowledge, okay? So he knew, so he had the knowledge that Samad's classmates would not help him. He tried to solve the problem on his own. The alternative could be, with the knowledge that his classmates would not help him, Samad tried to solve the problem on his own. What's the noun form of wise? So the teacher's wisdom astounded all who heard her. So it basically shocked everyone who heard her wisdom. This is the best fried chicken I have ever eaten. I have never eaten fried chicken better than this. Exercise 9, level 2. Mrs. Lim thought there was no necessity. So noun form of necessary is necessity. How do you paraphrase pressured her intensely? How do you change that, right? So under the intense pressure. So she broke down under the intense pressure from her parents, or under her parents, as apostrophe by the way, because both parents, intense pressure. Tenacious means not giving up, right? Persevering, always trying despite failure. So had it not been for the, now there are many scouts, right? So for the tenacity of the scouts, okay, they would not have succeeded in the challenge. Or had it not been for the scouts' tenacity. Does not intend. So Lucy has no intention of leaving the city. Lucy does not intend. What's that word floating over there? Floating over there. Okay, that's the reason why. Okay, anyway, organizing and orientation for new students is the prefectorial board's responsibility. Another way to answer is organizing and orientation is the responsibility of the prefectorial board. Exercise 10, level 2. The Prime Minister was complacent, so he was actually resting on his laurels. He was getting too comfortable in his position of power, so the Prime Minister's downfall was caused by his complacence, E-N-C-E, and that's the noun form of complacent. He withdrew from the competition in the last minute, and this left the officials in a dilemma. So his last minute withdrawal. So withdrew, withdrawal. Hide in the closet, you will not be in danger. So will keep you safe from danger. Hiding in that closet will keep you safe or keep you safe from danger. Police are questioning whether the witness's account is accurate. Okay, so the accuracy of the witness's account is being questioned by the police. So accuracy, accurate. Argue, what's the noun form of that? An argument. Notice the E is not written there. So GU, not GUE, started between Peter and Nick as soon as the teacher walked out of the classroom. And that's it, we're done. Good job completing the second video. Let's look forward to the next one. See ya!